Hello buddy, San here, engineer, MBA, and investor. And in today's video, I want to talk about JP Morgan Conference 2025 that just happened earlier this past week. And of course, all eyes were on NTLA Therapeutics for a couple of reasons. One, a lot of people on social media are claiming this company is going to go bankrupt by next year. It's not gonna happen, guys. I know a lot of people want to be true and I want to be correct. I want to show that they know what's going on in the market and they have some sort of inside information. Sorry to break the news, guys. A broken clock is always right, at least once in a day. So believe me, guys, this company is not going bankrupt, especially after the news we just got this past week from the CEO and president of this company, which we'll take a look in just a second. But of course, I want to kind of clarify a couple of things to everybody. Guys, we are in this space for the long term. Nobody ever, if you look at any of our video catalog, nobody ever said that CRISPR companies are going to be profitable by 2024, 2025. All these CRISPR companies are going to 5x, 10x their price tag in for their stock symbol, or their market cap will be increased by multiple. Nobody ever said that. Now, obviously, we all want that as investors and people in the community. Of course, we want that. We have vested interests. But of course, a lot of us are here for the technology. A lot of us got here involved because of technology. And of course, investment kind of means supporting those companies, supporting the technology, and of course, making a reward yield from it, right? It makes sense. People that have studied this space, people that have followed this space, and most importantly, people that have stuck through the tough times should get rewarded, right? And that's what I kind of want to leave it off before I jump right into it, is that you got to be in this space for long term. We have a lot of new viewers coming in these videos, especially the last few weeks. A lot of people are thinking these companies have been beaten down, and then by next month it's gonna 2x the stock price it is right now. Guys, if you go in this mindset, in this space like that, believe me, this is a recipe for disaster. You gotta be patient. You gotta let this play out. Let the data come in. Let these companies do what they're best at, and then assess the situation in a couple of years time frame, right? Again, build your own conviction. Do your research. Don't watch just these videos, guys. Watch other videos. Watch the naysayers, right? Watch people that are against CRISPR. Read what they have to say, and then kind of make your own arguments why you're for or against it, right? Obviously, I'm biased. I'm for it, not just because I'm invested, but because I believe in the technology. I believe in it. I've said it many, many times. CRISPR is here to stay. Now, whether or not all these companies are here to stay, that's up to debate, and I think that's a big debate. But for people to say that NTLA is going to go bankrupt, it's not going to happen, guys. Maybe they will at some point in the long-term future, but if you're going to say by next year or even 2 years, I don't think so. I think they have a lot of ammos in their toolkit, and I think this company has the right leadership to execute. Obviously, a lot of people have something to say against that statement, but that's where investors can either invest or not. That's where you can either win or stay on the sideline. Or if you really think this company is going to go bankrupt, short it, right? Short the stock. If like, think about it, if you're so convicted that CRISPR companies such as NTLA is going to go bankrupt, then short it. Put your money where your mouth is, right? Obviously, you're not going to do that. Obviously, it's a risky move. Obviously, I would never advise anybody to even venture in that. Just look at our video catalog. Think about how many videos I've done in this channel. You really think a companies with this amazing data and with this potential, with this stronghold of the landscape, is just gonna give it up, right? Without putting up a fight? I mean, think about it, guys. Anyways, let me just close this window here. Sorry, guys. There's streets on this gloomy Saturday here, and the streets, cars on the streets here in Toronto downtown. So, a video here that was posted by Gene Editing and Invest with Anthony, of course, and on X.com. And I want to kind of take a look at it. A couple of reasons. Gives a CEO outlook. I want to play it, then move over maybe a key takeaway from what happened at JP Morgan 2025 from NTLA. They were one of the first speakers actually on Monday in the morning or late in the morning. And then I want to take a look just shortly at a market report that I think a lot of you will find useful. So let's play ahead.
Literally, every single patient without exception has had knockdowns in excess of 90% or so. That contrasts with the variability that we see with some of the other modalities. And so, from a confidence point of view, given the relationship between TTR and clinical results and the consistency of the effect, I'm very confident that the study we're doing will be positive, and I would expect that we'll replicate many of the same findings that we've already reported on.
So I think one of the questions that we always get about the market opportunity for Nex-Z in ATTR has always been, well, there are stabilizers, there are silencers available, and it gets to the point of how competitive is gene editing and what the real market opportunity is. So how do you think about that? And as we get closer to potential data read from magnitude and magnitude 2, how do we kind of think through the ultimate market opportunity? Is it 1 in 5? Like, how should we think through the cut of the ATTR-CM, also PN market?
If it's only 1 in 5, I'd be disappointed. I think there's a lot of confusion out there, and I think people misread the information, and I think they misread the market research. I shared some of the findings in terms of how cardiologists think they want the best drug, and that's going to be based on the clinical outcomes that they get. And as there's a deeper appreciation of what is the pathogenesis of the disease itself, which is the presence of TTR protein, I think they will learn, as they're doing already, that the extent to which TTR is reduced is going to be increasingly beneficial for the patients. That's what we're seeing. And there's a fair amount of education that will take place over the next couple of years, but that's where the space is going. There's talk I hear from some that patients don't want to take gene editing. That's not what we're seeing in our clinical trials. We're ahead of the work that we're doing, the plan that we laid out for ourselves. And in the HAE studies, where you have a younger patient population with a lifetime ahead of them in the disease, the study's oversubscribed. I think some of the rhetoric is ill-advised and, frankly, not well-informed. Another thing that we've heard, which I think is also an error, is that patients may hesitate to take the drug because they're old, or payers may hesitate to prescribe the drug because they're old. 90% of patients today are alive at 3 years. The return on an approach like this, I think, will be excellent for payers, and I don't think the physicians are going to be at all hesitant to use something if they believe it's best in class. So, if you're talking about single-digit numbers in terms of where we are in the marketplace, as I said, I'd be very disappointed with that. Literally, every single
So this is pretty big, guys. This is these were big, bold statements. Now, again, play back the video, guys, if you want to go through it. I speeded up here by 50% only because of time constraint for this video. Again, this video is available on X.com. Highly advise you guys to follow United Investing with Anthony, which I'm going to take a look at an article. But a couple of big takeaways here. Did you guys even hear that comment? So he's going to be disappointed if the markup is about 1 in 5, which means basically 20% markup. He's going to be disappointed. 20% is, I'll be honest, it's not that good, but it's not that bad. There's some, the auto companies, I don't even think they do 10%. I think they do below 10% markup. So, it's a whole different, obviously, industry, the whole different ball game, but you get what my point is. 1 in 5 is disappointing. If 1 in 5 is disappointing, what is not disappointing? What is expected? Maybe 50% markup, maybe 80% markup, maybe 100% markup. This is something you guys gotta think about as these comments are being made by the person who's in and out from this company every single morning, every single night, every single hour of the day, every single minute. This is his life, right? And on top of that, he made another comment saying a lot of people misread research, they misread data, they make assumptions on what cardiologists or experts in the field, what they want. They don't want CRISPR. These are misread information by folks on social media, folks by retail investors, institutions. And obviously, he's making these comments for a reason. People got to remember when these CEOs and presidents and folks in the leadership, in the C-suite leadership, they come on podcast episodes or they get interviewed or go on JP Morgan conference, the biggest conference of the year. These guys are rehearsing answers. These guys are preparing answers. They are talking to their PR team. They're talking to their other folks in the leadership. They're brainstorming as to what are the key takeaways they want to get at. What are the key points they want to communicate, and the kind of brainstorming and rehearsing, right? They're not going to say these things just randomly, okay? He's not going to just say disappointed by 1 in 5 randomly, right? there's a reason why he's saying these comments, right? You guys got to be mindful of that, right? So let's move over really quickly, guys, because I don't want to drag this video too long. It's already been 10 minutes here. But again, Anthony here, again, on X.com. A couple of key takeaways here from JP Morgan 2025. They're doing extremely well. Their response to HAE, incomplete response questioner, okay, responder question. If we merely reflect what we've already done in HAE, it will be commercially successful. Okay, intends to beat those 550 plus numbers. Very key for ATTR CM. Peak spending year behind him, and now can fund operation through commercialization of HAE, which they've said many times that they can do. For NTLA 2002, this company is very confident that they can commercialize it and they can fund those operations. A lot of people are naysayers. A lot of people are saying they're going to go bankrupt before then. Clearly, the decisions they made before the JP Morgan conference, if you watch our video from last Sunday, will reveal some of these decisions they made, such as cutting cost, employee operation by, I think, 20%. I think that's the number we saw. Don't quote me on that. I may be wrong. Again, it's Saturday noon now. Just need my second coffee here, guys. So don't quote me on some of these numbers. So additional information, manufacturing challenges that others do not apply to us. This is something we've covered as well. Now with over 4 years of follow-up. Yes, that's true. Data follow-up. They have that for NextZ and so on. Infusion 2 to 4 hours, and then they go home. That's the big sell of this company, is that they don't need to have chemo, they don't need to have this hospitalization days, weeks, and months for individuals, and long delays. The promise is they can go quick and in and out. 2 hours to 4 hours. That's pretty quick, guys. That's even faster than my wait line for Service Ontario when I had to get my health insurance card, which is a whole different topic, but gives you an idea of how fast that is, right? Potential triggers, okay. 90% of physicians are excited about using NTLA for ATTR. So we're very excited of this program, so that makes sense. Physicians and patients feel the same way. Both want to be untethered of lifelong regimens. Now, like the interview said, there's some silencers, there's some, maintenance type of drugs and type of programs with some of these patients, but there's no cure. Patients want a cure, okay? When you have a problem in your car, you want to get it fixed. You don't want some bandage. Some people opt in for bandage when they don't have the money, when they don't understand fully what does the bandage mean, and when there are no alternatives. But when you have the money and you understand what does it mean to have a bandage as opposed to actually getting it fixed, you will get your car fixed, right? So same thing with this. The money is there. Insurance companies, state by state in the US at least, they'll cover it. Health insurance companies are going to cover it. Company insurance, all of that is involved, which again, I'm still due for a video. It's been a long time I've been wanting to make a video. It's going to happen, guys. I'm not a professional in it, but I do want to research and study it and present the study to you guys, how insurance works when it comes to healthcare, especially in the States and, of course, in other regions around the world. I happen to know how the Canadian regions work, but that's a whole different topic for another video. If you know that you have the money and if you understand there's a cure available, why not go for the cure? That's why 90% of the physicians are interested, and that's why patients feel the same way. And these untethered lifelong regimens, that's what you want. You want a cure. You want to get back to productive in society. You want to get back to doing what you actually love in life, as opposed to kind of going every month to the hospital or whatever the time frame is, waiting hours and hours, having to communicate with nurses, having to communicate with physicians, having to, fill up the paperwork every single time, all this pain, all this bureaucracy, all these delays. That's what these CRISPR companies cure, and that's what these CRISPR companies can save up on human life. Like I said, CRISPR extends human life, extends lifespan, just maybe not in the way you're thinking, but technically it does. And I want to end this video like that, guys. So these are big topics here. This is something we got to think about. I mean, I wanted to talk about the CRISPR market, a report that was published. I'm going to talk about it in another video. I don't want to bog down at this point on this. I want to keep it concise on this video from a couple of words from the CEO, president of this company at the JP Morgan conference this week. And of course, this article, both coming from Anthony from X.com, a very valuable member of this community. Thank you so much, Anthony. And as always, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think. Subscribe if you're not. If you haven't subscribed, and like this video, guys, a lot of new video viewers because we're liking the video. When you like the video, it gets people homepages populated with our video. And I will see you guys on tomorrow's video on a hopefully beautiful Sunday. Thank you, guys.